Hello, welcome back to today's video. Going to have a look at the weather next week, 10 days in today's video. It takes us to the 4th of May, and we're going to be having cold weather coming up over the next few days. I did snow watch last night, so there is going to be a little bit of wintry potential in the coming days. Perhaps a little bit more significantly will be night frost. But as we go through to the second half of this week, we should lose the cold conditions. And actually, we are seeing signs that as we go through into the start of May, we might turn things significantly warmer. I'll show you what's going on in a second. Before we go on with that, though, just to start off with this picture that's been sent through from Erki in Helsinki in Finland. I think it's taken over the weekend, and it was a really wintry scene there, proper snow-covered park scene in Helsinki in Finland over the weekend. Really cold and snowy conditions up there. Going to be more cold weather coming up in the next few days as well, I think, across many parts of northeastern Europe. Thanks to Erki for sending that through, and if you've got any pictures that you'd like to have featured in videos, you can email them to gazovis@gmail.com or post them in the comment box at gazovis, and we're always happy to feature your weather pics when we get the time. Starting off with Central England temperature then, and still pretty warm really. It hasn't felt that warm to me over the past couple of weeks, but we're still having an anomaly of 2 degrees above average, 9.5 provisional to the 23rd through to yesterday. So still running a couple of degrees above average. That's mostly because of that very warm start that we had to the first week. It was very warm indeed, and the last couple of weeks have been much closer to average. It's felt quite cold where I am, but still running significantly above average. It's going to tick down some more over the next few days because it's going to get quite cold. There will be night frost. I haven't really had all that much frost, and it is frost that makes a difference, particularly at this time of the year. If you get a run of frosty nights, then you'll very quickly start to reduce these average temperature values. But if you don't really get all that many frosts, then very often the average temperature will hold up. That's what's happened this month. It has turned cooler, but it has been colder to offset that very warm start that we have. But as I say, we are going to have more colder conditions coming up over the next few days, so I'd expect this to finish up somewhere close to around a degree above average in the end. I think we will still have an above average month, but I think it'll be around a degree or so. I don't think we'll stick to this 2 degree deviation that we're seeing at the moment. Be interesting to see where we finish up when we get through to the end of the month. These are the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF here on the top, and the GFS, which I'll have a look at in a moment, is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure, low pressure being moved around by a jet stream running above. Blue extrapolates to low pressure, and red and orange extrapolates to high pressure. These are the mean flowcharts for the next week to 10 days. So this takes us into May with these charts, and quite a significant change on where we are right now. Deep trough of low pressure in the central Atlantic, but we notice that over and to the east, northeast of the UK, we've actually got quite a big ridge building in. And it's this ridge that could well start to draw in some quite warm air from the southeast over the coming week to 10 days, particularly as we get through to May. I don't think we're going to notice this for the rest of April. As we go through into the first few days of May, that's when we might start to change the pattern again and build this ridge up just to our east and begin to draw in much warmer air from the southeast. That's the possibility of what could happen anyway. This is the GFS, slightly different in terms of where that ridge is. It's more centred to our south and also going to the east as well. Also connects back to some high pressure up there, and then the low pressure trough is through the middle part of the Atlantic. Similar idea, but perhaps not quite as settled, particularly so for the north. There might be a little bit more of an Atlantic influence coming through there into the start of May, so a little bit more unsettled, but still the idea that we're building the heights up to the south and the east and possibly bringing in warmer air for the start of May. We can see this on the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next 2 weeks. These are upper air temperatures. The red line here is the 30-year temperature average. So this is the cold snap that we've got coming up, starting today, and then coming up over the next few days. Begins to turn less cold at the end of the week. We return closer to average. You'll notice as we go through into the start of May, this is the first week or so of May, just here, you'll notice the trend very much upwards as we go through into the first week of May with those upper air temperatures, telling us that not only are we going to lose the cold weather that we're going to have this week, we're probably going to turn quite warm through the first week of May. There are actually a couple of sort of heat wave type outliers going on there through the first week of May. I think they're probably over the top. Let's suggest it's going to turn warmer, but probably not going to get all that hot. So might see temperatures going up to around 21 degrees, something like that. But there is an outside chance we could turn really quite warm indeed through the first week of May. I have to say there's also a few cold outliers as well. So I think the general thrust is that through the first week of May, we're turning things warmer. And probably settling things down quite a bit of wet as well. In terms of precipitation, showers coming up with this colder period through the rest of the week. Some of those could be wintry in the north. Then we go through into the start of May. This is the bank holiday weekend just here. We have got precipitation spikes coming through, but I'm going to do a detailed update for the May Day bank holiday weekend later on today. That'll be the 5th update, so that'll be with you later on today. It looks like we've got some rainfall coming up, albeit with temperatures starting to recover, and then we go through to this warmer period where we have still got some precipitation spikes, but I think overall it's probably trending drier through that first week of May. Now, temperature anomalies for the next week are still coming out colder than average in most parts of Europe. So from the 24th of April to the 2nd of May, it's looking colder than average pretty much across all parts of Europe. Expect these to be trending warmer through this week. So I think by the time we get through to Thursday, Friday and have a look at these charts, we'll be seeing, particularly for western parts of Europe, the temperature anomalies start to go warmer than average as they begin to cover that full first week of May period. Precipitation is also going up a little bit as well. So this is the precipitation anomaly from the 24th of April to the 2nd of May. And it looks more unsettled than we've had for quite a while, actually, particularly for northern parts of the country, where rainfall is even going a little bit above average, or precipitation going a little bit above average. So it looks like we're trending more unsettled through the final week of May. Final week of April, I should say, into the very start of May, and keeping it quite cool, although I would suspect as we get further on into the first week of May with these charts, we will see the temperature anomaly beginning to lift up. This is how Friday is looking with the GFS, and still quite cool really. The air, it is more Atlantic based, but it's still coming from the northern part of the Atlantic at the end of the week. Into the weekend, looks really quite unsettled through Saturday and Sunday with low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. That'll bring outbreaks of rain with it. On Bank Holiday Monday the 1st of May, we're still in a westerly-southwesterly flow. This is beginning to drag up warmer air from the southwest, but it still looks quite unsettled, especially so for the northwest. We will have a detailed Bank Holiday outlook of the 5th update coming up later on. By Tuesday the 2nd of May, though, heights are beginning to build here across to the south and the east of the UK. We're still in a west-southwesterly flow, but we're starting to push up much warmer air from the south. And then we go through into Wednesday the 3rd of May and on to Thursday the 4th. And look at that, high pressure has inflated across many parts of Europe, taken over the pattern. We've pushed the jet stream and those rain-bearing systems away to our northwest. We're beginning to draw the air in from the south and the southeast. That will start to push up significantly warmer air from southern and southeastern parts of Europe. And then that high pressure through the first week of May remains firmly in control of the weather, dominating weather, bringing a good deal of dry and fine weather through the first week of May, and quite warm as well. Although that high pressure beginning to drift to the north of Scotland, the origins of the air still coming from southern parts of Europe, so still quite warm there through that first week of May. ECMWF is very similar, so still looks quite chilly and a little bit showery to end the week. Then into the bank holiday weekend, low pressure is trying to come in off the Atlantic. There's probably a weather system here in the west for Sunday, 30th of April, producing outbreaks of rain. The winds from the south, so it's not cold, but it does look quite unsettled over the bank holiday weekend. And that continues into bank holiday Monday as well. Beyond that, though, again, heights are building to our south and east. This is by Wednesday, the 3rd of May, where we find high pressure really starting to take over. This time more centred towards Scandinavia, proper Scandinavian high, with the wind coming in from the east. But the origins of the air are still quite warm from southern parts of Europe. So, I mean, coming on temperatures into the upper teens Celsius, possibly 20, 21 degrees. I don't think we're going to get a heat wave through the first week of May, but I think it will turn quite a bit warmer, particularly compared to this week, and also a lot of dry weather returning as well, I would have thought. So, it looks like we've got this cold snap to get out of the way through this week. Getting to next week, though, and we may well find ourselves going into a warmer and drier spell through the first week of May. In between that, of course, we've got the bank holiday weekend, and that does look, I'm afraid, a little bit unsettled. We will have the 5th bank holiday update later on today. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.